What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. It's not an episode. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at Life Project. It is your girl, AWOL, Allie, Allison, A to the L-O, Allison, Crystal Mascarello. My phone is buzzing. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at Life Project. It is your girl, A to the... buzzing me. Stop. One more time. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at Life Project. It's your girl, AWOL, Allie, Allison Crystal Mascarello, Allison Crystal Mascarello the first, A to the L-O. Hello. However you know me, thanks for being here. If you're a returning subscriber, if you're a new subscriber, or if I'm about to convince you to become a subscriber right now, hit the like button, hit the little bell for notifications, and set them to all so you can know every time I make a new video. Now that we've got that out of the way, I want to share with you guys I am super excited for what we have for you today. As you know, I have been talking about the big dreams that I have for this channel. One of them is showcasing the talents and the goodness of other people. I have not just one, but two amazing humans to introduce you. You may or may not know that this week, February 7th through the 14th, is CHD Awareness Week. Congenital heart defects, or CHD, affects 1 in every 100 children. This causes an array of health issues that may occur throughout a person's life, as CHD does not have a cure. There are millions of Americans living with CHD every day in the United States. I'm excited to bring some awareness and some stories to you today. The first story I have comes from my good friend Kaylyn Summer, who's a country music artist, and she got the opportunity to write a song for a young man named Jack, who has lived with CHD and experienced major surgery, including a heart and double lung transplant. She wrote a beautiful song, and here's a little bit of her story and her journey with learning about CHD and helping Jack. I will apologize because this is my first time doing interviews on my channel, so I did forget to hit the record button on my camera. So I'm going to do my best with editing and try to make it work, but I apologize. I know I messed up. I know, but it's still a good story and it's still an incredible guest. So, just bear with me.
They're gonna read your story and find it extraordinary. When they see you, they know super heart hero.
All right, so everybody, we are here with Kaylyn Sahs. Very exciting day. Kaylyn Sahs is a country music artist who chooses to use her talent to make an impact. She doesn't just sing songs to gain notoriety for herself, but she uses her talents to make a difference and writes with purpose. So Kaylyn, can you tell me just a little bit about why you started singing and why it's bigger than just singing songs to you?
Yeah, I started singing, as soon as I could talk, I think. It's been something that has been a part of me and a huge part of my life. And so after high school, I was like, okay, college, music, yeah, I could do both, but I decided to just go full force into music. I figured, college is always there if you need it. And so it's been so amazing to just get started, and over the past few years just see how things have continued to grow, and it's like, okay, well, doors keep opening, so it's like keep going.
So one of the big things that we like to do with Look at Life Project is recognize that what we were created to do isn't just about us, and it's not just about, I don't make YouTube videos just because I like it when people tell me that I'm funny, and you don't sing songs just because you like it when people tell you that you have a beautiful voice, which you do.
Thank
But why why do you want to do music, and what is the bigger purpose behind what you think music can be for people?
I feel like music is one of those things where it has the ability to really make an impact in people's lives, and so I want to use those gifts to just try and bring some encouragement and joy into this world. And that's one of the ways that I think that I'm able to do that.
It's always great when you see somebody who's not only just talented, but that they have the character and the integrity that backs up the talent. Because it's always a bummer when you meet somebody that you look up to and they end up being like kind of a jerk, or
Yeah.
you think they're one way and they're not that way. So
You're
Kaylyn
like,
is definitely one of those people who her talent matches her character. I've known Kaylyn for a couple of years. My husband has played drums for her a few times and plays drum on her drum. He plays drum. Just
he plays one
one.
drum.
Jane. Jane, no. So, as I was saying before Jane rudely but also cutely interrupted me, is that my husband has played drums for Kaylyn on a number of occasions and plays on her new EP called Blue. Would you like to tell us anything about your new EP, Blue?
Yeah, I went to Nashville and recorded that back in August. And it was so amazing to be able to do that and to release more music. And recording with Thomas Doolin in Nashville was amazing. Having Steve, like that was such just an awesome part to the whole EP. And I love how it turned out. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever gotten to be a part of. And so I was excited to release that into the world.
Shout out to Thomas Doolin at the Planetarium. Yes. He is really, really amazing at what he does. The reason that we have Kaylyn on the channel this week is because this week is actually CHD Awareness Week, and Kaylyn has a unique story of involvement with CHD. She wrote an incredible song for an incredible little boy named Jack, and she is wearing a Support Jack Strong t-shirt right now. So Kaylyn, tell me about how you came to know Jack and a little bit of the process of how you wrote this song, what it's being used for, how it's bringing awareness, and where we are at with it now.
Yeah, so I got to know who Jack was through my aunt. She worked with Jack's dad at the time. I vividly remember when my aunt told me about Jack, and she told me, she was like, yeah, one of my coworker's sons, he was just born and he needs a heart and double lung transplant like now. Over the course of a few months after he was born, my aunt, she got to talking to Jack's dad, and she had told him about me and that I sing. She's a proud aunt, and so she was talking about me, and they were like, well, it'd be so cool if Kaylyn wrote a song for Jack. In my head, there's two things. It's like, that's amazing, but then at the same time, it's like no pressure whatsoever.
Exactly.
But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it was everything that they needed. And I spent a lot of time on their Facebook page and just wanting to know his story just more and more. It was kind of hard because it was like I can't even begin to pretend what they go through or know what they go through. Mm-hmm. And just the amount of time that they have spent in the hospital, and I'm sure worrying about him, not even knowing if he's going to make it, because every day was like Jack kept making it, and it was like, how is this even possible? Because there were so many odds stacked against him. And yeah, so then 4 months after he's born, he received his heart and his lungs. They received a donor, and he's 3 now. But their cover photo said Super Heart Hero. And I was like, I think that's the name of the song. So I wanted to write it in a way where it shows that these kids and Jack and everybody that has had CHD, they are heart warriors. Mm-hmm. They're our heart heroes. And they run a race that is just like something that I will never know.
I remember when Steve and I were at your house and you first showed us the song, and I was just like in tears. And afterwards you guys were like, do you like it? What do you guys think? And I was like, oh, it's good. It just is a beautiful song. And mm-hmm. Not only is it just very well written, but it just has a really great purpose to it. And I think that when purpose behind a song mixed with a person who believes what they're writing and means it and matches up to the character that it takes to be talented and then just using your gifts for a purpose. I think it's really a powerful combination of things that came together. And I sent your song to my friend Summer that I'm interviewing today as well, because her daughter has CHD and has had surgery and will continue to have surgeries. And she is the sassiest, cutest little thing. I mean, I'm like obsessed. I grew up with Summer, but I'm also just totally a fangirl of how cute her family is, because this little girl, her name is Sloan. She's the sassiest little thing, and all of her kids are hilarious. I just can't imagine the resilience that little kids need to have when they go through that, as well as parents having to handle, you know, worrying about your little one, figuring out all the finances behind the, you know, the medical bills, and trying to stay positive and still going about normal life and working jobs and trying to, you know, just keep hope and keep things afloat. It's so much. And to see how happy and put together her family is, and I'm sure your interactions with Jack's family, just seeing how positive they are and how kind they are, that's the thing that is impressive to me when people are going through really big struggles and they're still just so kind. That to me speaks volumes to the type of people that they are. So it's really cool that you are able to honor Jack's family with such a beautiful song.
I mean, I would love to see it be a part of Heart Foundations.
Yeah, it's cool too in the times that we're in to see so much like fight and positivity come from something that's very difficult and very negative. When you see Jack's story, when you see Sloan's story, to see their feisty little personalities and to see smiles on their faces, it kind of it brings things into perspective. So I really hope that people find encouragement in your song, if nothing else, for these families who go through something like that. I mean, I imagine Jack or Sloan listening to this song and knowing that it's about them and being able to be like, yeah, I'm tough. I think it's really cool that you've done that. What else do you have going on? What do you have upcoming shows? What are you working on?
Yeah, so I'm in the process. I'm writing some more music. As of right now, I'm still opening for Jody Messina.
I had such a big country phase when I was in middle school, and Jody Messina was at the top of the playlist. Whatever playlists were on back then, or she was in my CD rotation or whatever. You can also now find Kaylyn on TikTok. So where can we find you on TikTok?
Yes, you can find me at Kaylyn Sahs. There's a million ways to spell that. So
yeah, I will link all the socials in the description box so you guys can find Kaylyn. We'll link ways to download her music, and you can also find her song Super Heart Hero. We would love it if you guys would download that song or share it with a friend. If you know somebody who has a child or family member with CHD, we would love for them to be encouraged by Kaylyn's song Super Heart Hero. You can find it all the places that I list in the description box below. You are the person that you say that you are, and who you are on stage is who you are off stage. It's you are enjoying doing music and you're enjoying being yourself and you're trying to make a difference in the process. So I really am happy to be a fan and a friend.
Thank you so much. Like that means the world.
So Kaylyn and I will continue to fangirl over each other. You can find all of her things listed in the description. She really is trying to make a difference with her music. So it's not just songs that you're listening to, but you're supporting something with a bigger purpose. So definitely check out her new EP, Blue. The drummer that drummed for it's smoking hot fire, and the album is really good. Thomas Doolin did a great job. All of the musicians who participated were phenomenal. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoy the video and check out Kaylyn Sahs. You won't regret it.
Thank you so much.
When they see you, they know super heart hero.
Next, you're going to hear from my friend Summer. We grew up together. We've known each other for pretty much all of our multiple years of life. We probably have hundreds of sleepover stories that we can tell you, but that is not why we're here today. So let me first introduce you to Summer, and then she's going to tell you her story of how CHD has affected her family and her super cute, world's most adorable little girl named Sloan. What is up, everybody? I am here with my lifelong friend, Summer, and she is going to tell us about her journey with CHD, her family's journey with CHD. We're here during CHD Awareness Week, and I'm so excited to have my friend on the channel. You know, at Look at Life Project, we like to celebrate people who are doing good and have positive stories, and this is one of my favorite families, you guys. This family is number one, the cutest. All her kids are adorable. And Summer is such a fun mom. She always has fun stuff planned for her kids. It reminds me of growing up. We spent so many days at each other's houses, causing trouble, crashing four-wheelers, you name it. That's what we were doing at our sleepovers. So it's really, really cool to have her here. And she has just the cutest daughter who has a journey with CHD. Very excited. Summer, glad to have you.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I love your Mama of a Heart Warrior
Yes,
shirt you got on
yes,
there, and your Uncommon James
yes, I have
jewelry,
all my
I
Uncommon
see.
James. I knew you would appreciate that. I was
Of
like, I
course.
wonder, I wasn't gonna say anything. I was like, I wonder if Allie would notice my necklaces.
Of course. Summer and I like to bond over our love for Uncommon James. So, Kristen Cavallari, we know you're watching, and
Oh,
hi. And we
yes.
love your store. And I have Nashville Citrus Candle just over here, lit and giving me the vibe. So, Kristen, what's up? We're glad to have you.
Hello.
Okay, so Summer, tell me first, give me a memory that you have of us growing up or something so the people know I'm not making it up. We actually did from kindergarten to senior year of high
Yeah,
school. Well, probably before kindergarten, really,
I
because
think so.
small town life, that's just
I
how it
have
is.
way too many memories of us. I remember your mom like always doing fun things, or always we were always like singing. I feel like we were always singing songs
Yeah, Lion King duets,
all the time.
obviously.
And then I always remember you coming over and we do like like you said, four-wheeler rides. I'm pretty sure we did like the drive-through, pretend drive-through, and we'd get on the four-wheeler and do drive-through by my
Oh,
house
yeah.
and like McDonald's and stuff like that.
Another time we were in your room and you were like, let's color on the walls, and I was like,
Oh,
Summer, we are going to get in trouble if we color on the walls. And you were like, no, 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 it's fine, my mom won't know about it, and I do it all the time. Literally the second we start coloring on the walls, your mom was like, Summer, are you coloring on the walls?
yeah, right.
I was like,
I do
how?
remember a time. I think your mom was like the leader of our Girl Scouts, and my mom had to drop me off early, and so I helped your mom clean, and she like paid me in like nail polishes and Mary Kay stuff, like lipstick.
The
Always
best
the best food at your house too. That's
snacks and the bribing and the
all the things.
Cool. So there you have it, kids. I didn't make it up. We really knew
It's
each
true.
other. We grew up every single grade, and we graduated with about 45 people. So
Yeah, it's that. I don't even know. My kids still go to that same school.
so you and your family have an experience and a journey with CHD. Tell me a little bit about what you know about it. How I saw you post it affects like 1 in 100 children. Give me some
Yep.
just like straight facts and figures of what you know about CHD.
So there are so many different types of congenital heart defects. Not all of them require surgery. Some are critical. Some are kind of like, we'll wait and see. Most can be diagnosed in utero. So Sloan's was not diagnosed. It does affect 1 in 100 kids. Also, a lot of things people think like this child had CHD, she had surgery, so she's cured. There's no cure for congenital heart defects. Even if you've had surgery, things are fixable, but something that you're going to have to deal with the rest of your life and have continuous care, like through adulthood, in while you're elderly. It's so important to continue your care for that.
And how did you guys find out that Sloan had CHD?
So I had Sloan via C-section. Everything was fine when she was born. We didn't realize anything. Pediatrician had came to do her newborn screening and said, "Oh, I hear a murmur." A lot of times newborns, especially if they were born a little early, can have a heart murmur, but it's nothing major. So the pediatrician said, "Okay, we're going to wait like 1 or 2 weeks. At our next appointment, I'll double check, to see. I'm sure it'll probably be gone by then." Some kids are born with a small hole in their heart that will close. So she was kind of thinking it was maybe along those lines. So at her next appointment, she was a week old. The pediatrician said, I still hear that murmur. I want to get it checked out just so we can have it for our records. So I was not worried about it at all. We made the appointment with the cardiologist a week later. My husband happened to be out of town at that time. And so here I am. I had 4 kids with me. My mom came with me.
Oh my gosh.
And at the cardiology appointment, when they did her echo, nobody said anything to me. It took a really, really long time. Like, I didn't think anything of it. And then we had an appointment with our pediatrician the next day to go over the results. So the next day, my mom comes over and we load the kids up and we're like, we're going to go shopping after this. So we walk into the pediatrician's office. I'm very close to my pediatrician. She was actually my pediatrician when I was like early teenager. And she's been with me since all of my kids. So we walk in and she immediately, like, the nurses take us to a room. She was already crying. I'm like, oh gosh, what's going on? And she sat down and she said, I feel horrible because I told you it was probably nothing to worry about, but I have some big news. Your daughter's going to be okay, but she's going to have open heart surgery. Thank goodness my mother was there because I don't remember anything else that was said. All I remember was your daughter's going to require open heart surgery and it's going to have to be soon. And so, as a mom with 4 kids, all of my other kids were completely healthy, never had to deal with anything crazy. And those were words that I was not ready for. She had taken like I said, our pediatrician was amazing. Took it upon herself and said, you're meeting with the cardiologist right after this. My dad came and picked up the other kids and my mom took me up there and I called Brandon over the phone and I couldn't even explain it to him. My mom had to tell him and he's at 4 hymns out of town. Like, do I come home? What am I supposed to do? And so we went and met with the cardiologist. He explained to us that Sloan was born with a congenital heart defect called tetralogy of Fallot, and that affects 4 parts of your heart. And he said it is a critical congenital heart defect, so you must have surgery. There is no choice, but we have to time the surgery properly. We don't want to do it too early because she was only 5 pounds, so she was very little. So they didn't really want to have to do it when she was that small.
Yeah.
She was also very healthy. Like, you would have no idea. Sometimes, especially with children with tetralogy of Fallot, they will be like blue. Their lips will be blue because they're not getting enough oxygen. But her oxygen levels were always wonderful. She was always great coloring. We never had any problems. So he said, we're just going to have to, each month, you're going to come in and we're going to do an echo of her heart. And we're just going to wait and see. We want to get her to about 5 months would be great. Waiting up until that surgery was the hardest because every breath she took, every move she made, you were like, oh, she just took a really deep breath. Is that bad? And you panicked about every little thing. And every time we had to go to the cardiologist, we were like, is this the time? She was 4 months old, still doing wonderful. We only had one time we had to rush her in because her lips were turning a little bit blue. It was no problem. It was just a little bit, maybe she dipped in oxygen for a small period of time. In the summer, I was getting nervous because London, my oldest, was supposed to start kindergarten. It's her birthday, all these things. And I told our cardiologist, I'm like, this sounds really weird, but I have 3 other children and my oldest is starting kindergarten and I know Sloan's surgery is coming up and I don't want to miss kindergarten. And obviously I know this is a bigger issue, but I just want to be able to do it all. The cardiologist and surgeon had decided that at 4 months old, she had gained enough weight and that was the best time to do it because they didn't want to wait too long to where it was a problem and it turned into an emergency surgery. You look at her and you don't think you can't tell anything was wrong by looking at her.
Right.
And so it was just so weird to look at her and just be like, her heart does not work how it's supposed to. And you just take day by day,
So she's had 1 surgery so far?
Yep. So at 4 months old, she had 1 surgery. One of her problems is her pulmonary valve. They have to manipulate the pulmonary valve to make it bigger. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You just don't know. So she does not have a functioning pulmonary valve right now. She keeps up with her siblings. You've seen that she is sassy as all get out. She dances around the house, sings JoJo Siwa all day long.
Oh, yeah.
But she will have to continuously have surgeries to fix her pulmonary valve. Right now, they're hoping to get her to about like 6 or 7. A 6 or 7-year-old female can accept an adult pulmonary valve. Once you have an adult pulmonary valve, those can last up to about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So then she wouldn't have to have another replacement for 10 years. What would happen if they took her and put a pulmonary valve in now? It would have to be a small one. So it would back us into a corner to where we would have to repeat
Mm-hmm.
open heart surgeries until she got to the age where she could get an adult one.
Mm-hmm.
While her body right now, although it has a non-functioning pulmonary valve, her heart is still keeping up. Right now, we kind of keep up. We have to monitor a lot of things, keep her as healthy as possible, because any little sickness can, it does to anybody, makes your heart work harder.
Right.
And the harder her heart has to work, the harder it is for it to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to keep her the healthiest possible. It's now a new waiting game,
Right.
Instead of months, now it's every year we go and say, okay, is this the year? Is this the year?
Yeah.
So it's hard because you think, okay, when they're smaller, it's really hard to get them to, they're scared of everybody. So you think, okay, the older they get, these appointments are going to get easier. But we're at a really hard age right now where it's very scary for her. So like even telling her she has to go to the doctor, she's like, I don't want to go to the doctor, and I've explained to her, like, she asks a lot because she has a scar right here and she has a hole in her stomach where the tubes were, and she calls that her second belly button. So she's like, I have 2 belly buttons. And so she calls her scar a scarf. So she says, I have a zipper scarf. I have a zipper scarf. It's so cute.
That's adorable.
It's so cute. But I was talking to her today. I was like, do you know why we're all wearing red tomorrow? And she said, for my zipper scarf. I'm like, that's right. Another thing I don't think people realize is with congenital heart defects, it doesn't necessarily just affect your heart. A lot of children can have neurology problems, like Sloane's had seizures. They can have developmental problems. Sloane didn't walk until she was almost 2. She's in speech therapy and physical therapy right now because she didn't talk either until she was older than most. It affects so much of you.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that. So now, as you've seen videos and stuff, she talks full sentences nonstop. She's extremely smart. It's crazy how much it can affect everything.
Yeah, I didn't realize it could affect so much. So what's something that you wish that you would have known, or something that maybe that you weren't prepared for that would help other parents who are going through the same type of situation?
I think one thing that I wasn't prepared for is how much it affects your daily life,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's going to affect you forever. Those kids are going to be adults and have to take care of themselves someday. It's so important to make sure that they are aware of how important it is to continuously get your checkups and stay with your cardiology appointments and keep up, because if you don't, things could turn bad so quickly. Bringing awareness to your child at a young age, and also their siblings, because you never want your other children to feel less special because they think, oh, she's getting more attention because of this.
What is something that has helped you or been a great support?
You never want to be a part of this heart community. You wouldn't wish that upon anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But the heart community is one of the best communities possible. There are so many resources out there. Children's Hospital in Omaha is the best cardiac heart place. So we're so lucky to have them, and they offer so many resources. There's a lot of local places that get you into contact with families. I'm on a program where I told them that it was okay if they have somebody come in that has a similar CHD diagnosis as Sloane, that they are more than welcome to contact me so I can walk them through what it's like, what to expect, or just to show them, like, this is Sloane. You would have no idea she has a heart defect. And one thing that helped me is I got into contact with a family member she was the mother of somebody who had tetralogy of flow. She kind of guided me. We met her at a park and she showed me all these pictures, told me kind of what to expect. She ended up coming and visiting us in the hospital. But the biggest thing is just to reach out to like local organizations.
Last question. What can we do as people who don't have to think about it? How can we donate or how can we help? What's the best way to spread awareness?
So there is always organizations that are taking donations to help research. There's always local places or your local Children's Hospital of Omaha, and they have a donation on their website that you can donate directly to Children's Hospital and their cardiac team. That would be my biggest thing because you know where it's going to.
Right.
Also, there's like local Heart Hero programs, and I'll send you some that you can link. Or if you know somebody that's going through it, just stuff that meant the most to me is when I would just get a message like, hey, thinking of you and Sloan, you know, let us know if we can help you in any way, especially now in this crazy world. People are really feeling alone and you can't get out and all of this. So just to check in on those people.
Well, thank you so much, Summer, for being a part of the video today. We will be, again, as I said, we'll be linking all of this information in the description below so that you guys can get the resources that you need. If you have, questions for Summer, you can leave them in a comment and I'll make sure that she gets them. And we will make sure that we add in a couple of cute photos of Sloan so you can see all the sass and adorableness that comes with this little heart hero. And make sure that you guys, if you're able, go ahead and donate. And thank you, Summer, for being a part of the video today.
Thank you so much for doing this and helping bring awareness to congenital heart defects. I appreciate it. I appreciate you reaching out. So this was so much fun, and thank you very much.
And with all that, I just want to say a huge thank you to Kaylyn and a huge thank you to Summer for sharing your stories and for sharing your talents and your experiences with Look at Life Project. As I said in their interviews, all of the resources and links will be listed in the description down below. You can find Kaylyn, Summer on social media, you can find the Super Heart Hero song, and you can find resources so you can support other families dealing with CHD, or maybe you're a family yourself who needs support. Summer did mention that if you wanted to reach out, she's more than happy to talk with families who are dealing with CHD and may have a story similar to theirs. We're so happy to have you, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share their stories. So thank you for checking out the first ever interviews on Look at Life Project. If you know somebody who's using their talents for good, or they're just an all-around amazing human, I would love to showcase them on Look at Life Project. Thank you again, Kaylyn and Summer. Thank you so much for being the type of human that cares about other people. This has been Look at Life Project. Bye. Do you ever get like embarrassed when you have to test microphones at a concert or something and they're like, okay, keep going, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, and you're like, I've said checking 1, 2, 3 like 10 times now.
My dad growing up, whenever he did concerts and stuff, he would always do we made fun of him because he'd always go test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.